In order, stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Brewer? Here. I'm sorry. Here. Trustee Grant? Here. Trustee Jones?
Here.
Trustee Tates? Trustee Todd? Here. Trustee Zupan? Here.
Okay, down to item number 4, approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes for October 24th. I'll accept the motion.
So moved.
Second. It's moved by Trustee Todd, second by Trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Grant?
No.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Tates? Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
No.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Public comment. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter pertaining to the business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. State your name, please, for the record.
Progress Sauk Village. My comment is on freedom of information, requests and responses.
Can we get a speaker, please?
I didn't hear you.
My comment is about freedom of
I'm
information.
sorry, just a minute, please. I'm hearing noise up here somewhere.
Yes, back here too.
It's extremely hard to hear you.
Okay.
My comment is about freedom of information, requests and
Can you hold 1
responses.
minute, please?
Oh, she got disconnected.
We're still trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out the noise that's causing interference so we can't hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's say it again. My comment is about freedom of information, requests and responses. This is public information and as such should be posted on the village website. I understand that this is not required, but responses were posted by the previous administration. In light of the continual accusation of the next administration of not being open and transparent, I would think that your administration, Mayor Burgess, in order to be open and transparent, would continue this practice. I'm asking that FOIA requests and the administration's responses be posted to the village website. My second comment concerns an item on tonight's agenda, and I wondered if you could explain the settlement of $112,500 for Johan Harvey.
Okay, the FOIA requests, you're saying they're not posted on the website? Okay, well, I'll make sure that happens. It should be. Well, if it's been determined. Okay, well, I'll address that issue, and I'll get back to you on that and make sure that I'm not overstepping anything with the lawyer. And you stated about 100 in regards to, right, that's a settlement agreement with someone that sued the village, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, and that was an agreement. We don't have to pay anything. Our due diligence was done a couple of years ago, so the insurance company pulled the plug and said they're not going to go any further, they're going to settle this. So it's not, excuse me?
Can the public know what the claim was?
Once we vote on it, it'll be records. It was a settlement from an accusation of something that happened a few years ago.
Thank you.
Judy Cass here.
Hang on, Judy.
I'm sorry?
We're still fighting with the noise.
Okay.
Go ahead, Judy.
A few weeks ago, I asked about the possibility of having town hall meetings, and you were going to check into it. I haven't heard anything since then, and I feel we do need them. The second one is I have a misunderstanding, or I just don't have a good feeling. I need to know about the HR lady. Where did she come from? What's her background? What are her qualifications? And what is her job duties? I'm hearing all sorts of things. I'm asked a lot of questions I can't answer. And I would like to know, as far as Parks and Recreation, what happened to Robin and why she's not back. It's my understanding from other people that this HR person is working basically the way Mr. Fairman worked, and that's not a good sign. I would like to know all about her and her 2 paychecks, why she's on the accounts payable twice. I understand that she's helping with contracts or what have you, but I would assume that that would be part of her job duties. And if not, why not? That's it for me.
Okay, as far as Dr. Strada, what's her name, Dr. Strada? She has a PhD. I'm sure that I can get you a copy of her resume, it's no problem. As far as her being on 2 different items, she's doing 2 different jobs. One is HR. HR is something we never had before. We never had any accountability. So we're bringing the accountability so we can limit the lawsuits that we're getting. And that's what HR does, to make sure that we're doing the right thing and not making rash judgments for employees. So she's only part-time. The second thing is, I have her also doing the negotiations. She has done negotiations with several other cities. So I asked her to get involved in ours, because the last time we did negotiations, we paid our lawyers $165 an hour. And we were getting law bills for about $20,000, $25,000 each every month during the negotiation period. She's working for much half. She's basically working for half and preparing everything, because the first contract we have is going to be for police. So that's going to take a little bit. So that's why I asked her to do that. And there's 2 separate items. As far as Robin, she has to have a job description. It has nothing to do with Dr. Strauber at all. I need to see a job description where she's going to do everything.
Did you not give her a job description when you took the position?
No, that's not my job to do that. All I did was make her accountable to calling in, making sure that she's here to call me, and I keep record on my phone that she came in that particular day. If she doesn't call, she doesn't get paid. There's no time clock over there. So her phone calls are basically a time clock, and it has to be from the village, community center, not from a private phone. Yes, ma'am.
Kathy Betcher. I'm going to answer a question that has been asked several weeks. Where are the books? We found the books!
Oh, okay.
The books are in the senior center closet.
Oh, they did it all the time?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we found them. And now I have a comment that was just brought up about our HR person. I interviewed for a position. I met with her. And she came in, introduced herself, said she was the HR person, shook my hand and said, I don't know why I'm here. You're going to meet with other department heads.
But you said, she told you
She
don't know
didn't
about
know
you,
why
and what
she
else?
was here,
And what else?
that I would meet with
Oh.
the department head, and turned around and walked out. A total of about 3 minutes. I don't think she's worth the money. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Jackie Blaze. I'm glad the books were found. I don't know why they're locked in the closet. People can't read them when they're in there. The main thing I want to ask is, Southland Voice is a public newspaper. This is a public building. The person that keeps throwing them in the garbage has no right to do that. I would like them to stop doing that. I'm tired of replacing them. People come into this village hall and they read them. And that really is against the law to throw away a newspaper like that.
Do you know who's doing it?
Hmm?
Do you know who's doing it?
No, I do not.
Oh, so that's what I'm saying.
You
So I
have to
can't,
check your tapes.
I cannot tell somebody if I don't know who it is.
Can I FOIA your tapes in the hallway?
I don't know how you can afford that because they're live tapes, but I can find out. I have to have them to go through a process to get that. Do you know when they're delivered? Because I have to narrow all that down.
I was here
Yesterday?
I was here yesterday, they were here yesterday, I came in tonight, and they're gone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Item number 6, mayor's report. I just have a few quick things. First of all, as was mentioned, the hometown hero was actually demolished over as last week, thanks to the efforts of our police chief and fire chief. They went out and secured it from the sheriff's police and SWAT. They came out and they knocked it down. It cost us just the amount for the dumpsters. We had to pay labor, which is a good thing. And they had it done in 2 days. So just want to let you know, that's the second thing they've done this year. They took a house down on Peterson, the early part of this year. That's the second one. So it won't happen today, the rest of this year until next year. But it's already looking okay up there that's taken down. That was a health hazard and an eyesore. So just wanted to bring that up. Moving on, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's a flyer in the back dealing with the holiday cheer that's coming up this coming Saturday. It is posted on the website and it's on our Facebook page as well. We will be distributing 150 holiday food baskets, and we're planning to have a social. I am so very thankful to those who have been coming in, helping to wrap the boxes for which we're going to put the food items in. We've gotten 50 boxes done. We got 100 boxes left. So anyone who did my voice that can hear me, anytime you want to come in and help wrap some boxes, we would greatly appreciate it, and your assistance is needed. We decided, because we were having a very difficult time getting turkeys this year, but our mayor has gone out and he secured a number of chickens. So therefore, to be consistent, we are going to provide a chicken along with the perishable food items that we're going to provide. I want to thank the Sauk Village Municipality, the police department, or the police chief. He was just, he just backed up his car and unloaded it. Some of our churches, our middle school, and of course you, the residents, you have just really You've outdone yourself with answering the call, and we thank you so very, very much.
Thank you. Village engineer, Mr. Jim Zardi.
Thank you, Mayor. We have begun planning for next year's motor fuel tax program. I have coordinated with the finance director to determine the amount of funding available. I am in discussions with the director of public works and the mayor for selection of the streets to be reconstructed. I hope to have the village's MFT program finalized by the end of the month. Then in January, I will bring the typical MFT forms before the mayor and the board for approval and execution so we can initiate the design of the improvements. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Village treasurer, Ms. Judy Sutton.
Yes, Mayor. I'd like to read into the record the collections for August, September, and October of this year. I'd like to read in for the record the collections for August, September, and October of this year. August property taxes were $2,451,038.71. Other taxes were $222,730.69. Licenses and permits were $13,818.88. Fees and services were $218,863.74. Grants were $1,048.51. Transfers were $1,661,605.65. And miscellaneous collections were $41,318.73 for a total of $4,610,424.91. That was August. September, property taxes were $22,788.86. Other taxes, $228,072.32. Licenses and permits, $8,024.17. Fees and services, $257,890.67. Grants were $2,684.39. Transfers were $554,050. And miscellaneous collections were $60,429.36 for a total of $1,133,890.27. Lastly, October collections were property taxes, $33,181.48. Other taxes, $205,916.16. Licenses and permits were $9,910.01. Fees and services, $193,877.99. Grants, $181,565. There were no transfers. Miscellaneous collections were $72,323.27 for a total of $696,773.91. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Judy. Could you get a copy to all the trustees as well as the village clerk?
I will. I believe that they were all in the cubbies or in their mail slots.
Okay, they said they don't have one, so.
Okay, I will make sure they get it.
Okay, make sure they get all three. August, September, I'm sorry. August, September, October. And then the clerk. Thank you. Departments, reports from departments, finance and administration. Director Mohan Rao.
Thank you very much, Mayor and the board. The first thing is we have pretty much completed the audit and it is being wrapped up pretty soon. Second thing is I have requested Mary Thompson at Kane McKenna to get the ATR, that is annual tax increment report, to be done for the year 2016-17. The third thing is we have about 10 outstanding claims in DEA, that is Drug Seizure Fund, that's going to be funded pretty soon. I think it's on an average it will be probably around $29,000 to $30,000 cash is coming in. And the last one is I'm going to complete the SAM administration renewal tomorrow and report back to the mayor. That ends my report.
Yes.
What is the balance of the water fund? What is the balance, the current balance of the water fund?
Can't hear you.
What is the current balance of the water fund?
It's approximately about 120,000 per today. Yes,
20,000?
120,000 approximately.
Fire Chief, we have Mr. Captain Dennis Silverwood, your report for the Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Over the 2-week period from November 22nd through December 6th, fire department responded to 38 calls. We had 14 fire alarms, 1 odor investigation, 8 vehicle accidents, 1 gas leak, 5 mutual aid to our neighbors, 6 ambulance assists, 1 CO alarm, 1 brush fire, 1 snow and smoke call. Right now the weather is changing, so make sure everyone changes your smoke and CO detectors. Make sure the batteries are changed and they are working properly. With the holidays coming, please be aware of what you put out to the curb for pickup. People are watching your garbage. Big ticket item boxes are clues for thieves. Please break down the boxes and put them in the garbage can, not out by the curb. Everyone who participated in the Santa Parade had a good time with the parade and the tree lighting. We wish everyone a safe holiday. We have a wreath on the station decorated with red lights. It's a fire department tradition, and we want to keep that wreath red. So that means no fires. Anytime there's a fire, we have to change the bulb and put a white bulb in. So we'd rather keep it red. This past week, we had 3 of our lieutenants pass a Management 2 class. They took these classes at Prairie State. The funds were provided through the grant that we acquired at no cost to the village. In January, we will have 3 firefighters go attempt to get their Firefighter 2 certification. Again, these funds were from the grant that we acquired at no cost to the village. That ends my report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Captain. I'm going to go back to Finance Director Mohan. He has something that he needs to bring before the board.
Thank you very much, Mayor and the board. In order to pay some obligations, we need a transfer of about $25,000 from water sewer fund into general fund.
So you're asking the board to vote on a transfer of $25,000 to meet the obligations of the accounts payable? We can either do it now, or we can do it as accounts payable. What's the pleasure of the board? Do you want to vote on it now, or you want to wait and vote on it when we do accounts payable? Anybody have any? Okay. We'll wait until we vote on it. We'll just make it a separate item. All right, Police Department, Mr. Robert Kowalski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, trustees. For the past 2 weeks, we had 475 calls for service with 4 arrests. At this time, I'd like to take an opportunity to address a question that I often hear from residents reference the shootings that occur in town. The Sauk Village Police Department have recently and in the past caught several individuals involved with these shootings. Our detectives have investigated and have a solve rate of 8 for the 8 past homicides. So they're 8 for 8 for the homicides in our town. In fact, a shooting which occurred that I reported on last meeting, which happened on November 12th, the victim was shot in the area of the business Sauk Trail in Jeffrey. It took over 3 weeks for our detectives to secure an arrest warrant, even though we had clear-cut video of that event. I'm happy to report, after securing the warrant, the offender was arrested on December 6th in Georgia. Mind you, he was on parole. The other issue we have is the lack of cooperation by victims. No one wants to talk to police, so we end up with retaliatory shootings. Juveniles, on the other hand, who are caught, is another issue that we have to deal with when they are taken into custody. Most of the time, the juveniles are released to the parents quicker than an officer could get back to town from the juvenile detention center in Chicago, Illinois. Lastly, I'd like to point out that on December 6th in Chicago, a 25-year-old male shot at police officers, hitting one officer in the hand and the bulletproof vest. The offender was out on parole from prison after having been sentenced to 4.5 years for being a felon in possession of a handgun. That specific offender had 15 prior arrests as an adult and had 4 felony convictions. So is this a police problem? I don't think so. This is a state's attorney and a judicial system problem in Cook County. And if you want to see it firsthand, go to the Markham Courthouse and sit in room 205 for any amount of time and see what happens on a daily basis. Now some better news. I'll get off that soapbox. I'd like to personally thank the Sauk Village Police Association, who gave the Shop with a Cop program a very generous donation. In addition to the Police Association, Bloom Township, Thompson Plumbing, and several others who donated to the GoFundMe account gave generously for a Shop with a Cop. And I'd like to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, and many of you folks are here today, and I truly want to thank you. Our Shop with a Cop is going to be next week, Tuesday, December 19th, at 9:30 at the Kmart Stager. Anyone interested in helping out, you can meet us at the Kmart at 9:30. We will have 3 children from each of the grades, kindergarten through 8th grade, and it should be a good time. And that's the end of my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Emergency management development, Ms. Alvin Maverick.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Just a few things. We assisted the fire department also too with a lot of those calls that they had. We also assisted them to Parks and Recs with the Santa Parade. Had a good time doing that. Saw a lot of kids come out with their faces lit up, see Santa Claus. Also too, past a week or so ago, I attended 2 classes in Joliet, free of charge, no cost to the village, on some command classes for our department and for the village. Also too, I'd like to just let people know too that Illinois State Police and the Illinois Chamber of Commerce also updated the new Scots law as to any vehicle with flashing lights have to move over and slow down. I have a little brochure here in reference to the Scots law. Just a little brief history. Scots law was named after Lieutenant Scott Gillen of the Chicago Fire Department, who was struck and killed by an intoxicated driver while assisting at a crash on the Dan Ryan Expressway. We're out there all the time with the police and the fire department, and we just like to bring it aware to everybody's attention that if you do see flashing lights, please slow down, please move over if you can, do diligently, and give us all a break once in a while. At this time, that's the end of my report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Community Development Director Sherry Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. December 6th court call, we had 182 total on the call. 5 were found not guilty, 7 were found guilty, and 2 were given continuances. The other 168 were in default for not showing up. We've sent out, in the last couple of months, over 100 plus letters for inoperable autos. We have started ticketing them. Every time we get rid of some, we got more. It's a big problem. So now we are working on a list for campers, trailers, and boats and driveways, and warnings will be sent out for that probably in the spring to get them out of the driveways. It is against the village ordinance. And that will conclude my report.
Thank you. Economic Development Director, Mr. Joseph Wizardwhite.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the board. The requests for proposals for the village's comprehensive plan are nearly completed and will be finalized and let after the holidays ahead. Mayor Burgess and I had an on-site visit with Warehouse Specialties, Inc., which has been a resident in the Logistics Center since 2005. WSI currently employs just over 30 full-time employees and operates with 3 shifts, Monday through Friday. Currently, WSI is moving between 100 to 200 trucks per day through the Logistics Center and is also moving freight through rail. The CN1N Railroad recently expanded service to the Logistics Center to 3 days per week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There are approximately 32 rail cars per week within the Logistics Center delivering paper, plastic, and steel. There are currently over 600 full-time jobs within the Logistics Center and Sauk Point Industrial Park, of which over 200 are UAW positions. Last week, I had 2 site visits through the Logistics Center by potential developers who are looking at land owned by the village. Representatives of the state of Illinois accompanied one of the potential developers to the Logistics Center as we did our tour in the cold, windy day. The Logistics Center certainly met all of their requirements and needs in terms of logistics, electrical power, rail access, which they would like to extend, which is good for the industrial park. The developer is looking for an initial 300,000 square foot construction in their first phase, and they will have 2 additional phases in short order. They want to break ground in March of 2018. We've received very positive feedback from both the state and the potential developer. Last week I met with the real estate development company in Chicago. They're in the process of a feasibility and discovery study on building a new 150,000 square foot facility with rail access within the Logistics Center. We are the only location in Illinois that they are considering. However, they are looking at other potential locations in Indiana. They do not want to, they do want to be in the Chicago market area, and our logistics and proximity to the city of Chicago are more appealing than Northwest Indiana. And trying to move truck freight and stuff like that through Indiana is not really fun these days. The project is probably in the early stages, and we're providing them with the data to help them make their decision. The total project would be about $35 million investment by then. On Monday, I finished a response to a request for a proposal to the state of Illinois for a new industrial development. We are proposing 3 locations in Sauk Village for industrial users, or for this industrial user, and we hope to schedule a site visit with the developer in the state of Illinois. That project is estimated at about $18 million. I will be arranging meetings with Cook County to discuss extension of the CN1N Railroad spur in the Logistics Center to better service the east side of Mark Collins Drive. We have put the preliminary sketch plan together to show what we are looking for. The extension of the rail will cost approximately $1.4 million, and Cook County has indicated that they are willing to help us with this. We will be having an Enterprise Zone Board meeting first part of January to elect officers. I was nominated for president of the Enterprise Zone Board among the 9 communities. The Enterprise Zone consists of Beecher, Crete, Chicago Heights, Glenwood, Fort Heights, Olympia Field, South Chicago Heights, Steger, Sauk Village, Cook, and Will counties. Nora Martinez Gomez from South Chicago Heights will be serving as a secretary, and Jack Hines from Chicago Heights will be serving as the treasurer. Ms. Jasinski and I completed our review of the business license, and I prepared recommendations for the Ordinance Review Committee to begin their review, and I handed that information over to Trustee Todd this afternoon. The new process would break down the licenses into business categories: retail, industrial, mixed use, hotel, fueling station, and scavenger licenses. We did not look at the contractor's license now. It is hoped that the Ordinance Review Committee can look at the recommendations and have theirs to the board sometime in February, I'm hoping, prior to the license period renewal. Finally, I want to wish the residents, members of the board, a very happy Christmas and New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Reports from committees and commissions. Beautification Committee, Chairman, Trustee Linda Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I first would like to say thank you to Bob and Rose Ketchum and Amy Rose and Jackie Glaze for helping me decorate the village hall. As you can see, we've done it here, and then the tree is up and going and things like that. So I want to say thank you very much, because without your help, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Thank you.
Okay, reports of trustees and standing committees. Public Service Committee, trustee Bernice Brewer.
No report.
Okay, Budget and Finance, trustee Roger Grant.
Mr. Mayor, really quick, do you think Mohan will come back so we can ask him a question if possible?
Sure. Oh, you mean as far as the...
We have to do the transfer too, so he might want to be here for that, just in case.
Okay.
Just FYI. Sorry about that. Budget and Finance Committee did meet a couple weeks ago. We are still working on a Finance Policy and Procedures manual. We would like to input some things for the treasurer, so we include her in the document as well. Because at one point in time, we didn't have a treasurer, so we kind of removed some things out. Also, we have put together a list of items that we would like to pay, if possible, that were under a certain threshold on the HR report. But seeing how we have to borrow money from the water fund tonight, I don't see that really happening as a priority. So maybe coming up, we'll see what happens. And also in January, I'd like to work with Mohan and the treasurer so we can schedule our next, I guess, department head meeting, so we can check in and see exactly how we're doing versus the budget and across the board and with the department heads. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Grant. Parks, Recreations, and Youth Services, trustee Calvin Jones.
First of all, I would like to thank everyone that participated and helped out to make this year's Santa Parade and Party a success. There was a lot of people and residents and everyone involved. We even had a new, we had a four-legged friend involved, Penny.
I've had one in one previous year,
Oh.
one last year, but in the past we've had one.
Since I've been involved,
Yes,
so,
you've been involved with us.
and that was an added treat, and I thank everyone for their participation. I thank everyone for coming out, and we also, we're starting back, we got open gym, end of the month, December 30th, 11:30 to 2:30, in the gym. That was my report.
Okay. I just wanted to say, I was at that gala for the Santa Claus. It was really packed, and I'm surprised you guys had enough toys left, because there was a lot of kids there. And toys and giveaways, books. So kudos out to your committee for doing that. And I think they had books left over that they took over to the fire department. So that was something that was really impressive. Housing and Intergovernmental, he's not here. Ordinance Review Committee, trustee Linda.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Ordinance Review Committee will meet on December 28th here at 6:30 p.m. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Public Service Committee, trustee Beth Zupan.
That would be Public Safety Committee,
Okay.
Mayor. We met last Wednesday, and thank you to those who did participate. It was our largest attendance yet, so thank you. I appreciate that, including one of my fellow trustees, and I appreciate that input as well. Our next meeting will be the first Wednesday of January. That would be the 3rd, at 6 p.m. here at Village Hall. So again, still open and welcoming volunteers from the community who wish to participate as well. And that ends my report.
Okay. We have to wait for Madam Clerk to come back, but she's got to call roll on the next item. Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve accounts payable with the addition to moving, excuse me, with addition to moving $25,000 out of the water fund to the accounts payable to pay bills, and the amount that we're paying is $313,436.30. I'll entertain a motion.
So,
Second.
It's moved by trustee Grant, second by trustee Todd. Any questions?
Question.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I talked to you about this earlier today. Just like the residents, I'm still concerned about the HR services that Dr. Strada is providing to us, because in response to the FOIA request that I asked, it looks like she's double dipping. She's getting paid for HR services plus union negotiation, which, as I understand it, that HR services were paid in the Owens contract up until July. Once that was over with, we had to pay them ourselves. So now she's still on the payroll, and we're paying her for HR services when she was never brought to the board, and we never decided on her contract. And I just don't understand why she's getting paid twice by the same company for work she's doing in the village, and she does stuff. After reviewing some of her invoices, I have a lot of questions about what she's actually being done and what she's being paid for. And, you know, because a lot of these things that she's doing, if you read the invoices, has absolutely nothing to do with HR or the union contract. So I'd like to sit down with you again and go through the invoices one by one. I don't think she's not worth all this. And we're paying her, and then she does the union contract. She has to take the contract to the attorney. They're still paying them again. So I don't see the cost savings in having her do whatever she's doing. So, I mean, I would like her to be deleted again. That's my request.
Okay, first of all, you did.
Say it slowly, like you said last time.
First of all, you did vote on the budget, correct?
I voted on the budget,
Okay.
and we talked about that. I'm talking about what she put in her invoices on what we paying her for. And Owens' contract says after July.
Are you gonna let me finish?
After Owens' contract says after July, we're not doing any HR services. So I'd just like to know, how did she come aboard?
We're not gonna go back and forth. I let you finish, and I'm going to try to clarify this for the third week in a row. First of all, we voted, and it was voted on by the board for the budget. In that budget, it had HR services. That was in there. So also in that budget, it had a line item for professional services. That was in there. That budget was voted up. I don't know if it was 3-1 or 3-2 or 4-2. I'm not sure, but it was voted favorably. Now, I still ask you to show me a contract that states that after April, May, or whatever day it was, you said that we no longer have a contract with Owens Group, because I haven't signed a contract with anyone. And I said that from day one back in May, there are no contracts. So as far as what she's doing, it would be the same thing that the lawyers were doing, but it would be at a lesser rate than what she's doing. The lawyers charge us $165 an hour for whatever they do. This is a lot less, and she's done this before. So I don't understand, and if you feel that she shouldn't get paid, okay, that's your opinion. I will respect that opinion. But that was voted on back when we ratified the budget.
I didn't ever say she shouldn't get paid. I just
You
want to
said
explain.
you said we shouldn't pay her.
I want you to explain to me and the audience, what is she doing? What is her duties? And if they look at the invoice, they are questioning too. There's some questionable things that she does that she shouldn't be paid for. Any HR person, I don't care what they are, don't do some of the things that she's charging the village for. So my question is, we need to go.
If you want to, but we're not going to go back and forth. I mentioned this last week and the week before last, what she did. I mentioned today what she does do in the two different instances that she does. One is HR and one is for negotiation. I don't know how much more simple I can make that. So you feel she's not qualified, that's your opinion.
I didn't say she wasn't qualified.
But I'm just saying that's what we pay her for.
Okay.
That's what she did. I'm not going back.
I'm reiterating my objection to just need to find out what she's supposed to be doing. Since you don't have any position description, we'd like to know what she's supposed to be doing.
I did tell you, I just told you what she does.
I like it seeing it in writing, Mr. Mayor.
You
Nobody
said you saw it in writing.
I saw what she submitted to you on the invoice.
And you saw what she does. You saw her invoice.
Mr. Mayor, one of the invoices that she submitted, she had,
Trustee, I'm not-
we sat down and, she charged us for being for her birthday, out for her birthday.
Show me that
August
invoice. Please
14th.
show me that invoice that says he charged us for.
You know,
Show me that. We just not gonna make,
on
rash
August
statements.
21st.
Show me the invoice.
And
that
on
says-
August 21st,
Show me the invoice.
in response to a FOIA request, she said that you and Barry and her went out for her birthday. How many hours she charged, I don't know. So it has to be.
Show me
I'll
that.
bring out, like
Thank
you
you.
said, I'll bring you a copy
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Thank you.
You know, there's certain things in her invoices that she says she's getting paid for.
Okay.
I don't think she should be paid for.
Okay.
She's
And
an
that's what I
HR
said.
person. It
Okay.
doesn't make any sense.
Thank you for your opinion.
You know, I mean, that's my opinion.
Thank you for your opinion. We still have a motion on the floor. Any other questions in regards to the motion on the floor?
I just have a few more questions about accounts payable.
Yes.
Mohan, could you, page 1, under general fund administration, we have postage for Village Hall, $1,915. Could you explain like exactly what that is? The meter resetting fee?
How often is that reset?
Once in 6 months, we reset the meter right across the border. General fund will be charged with $1,900 approximately. Water sewer fund as well as police department. We reset half a year in advance so that we would have plenty of money in the meter.
Okay. My next question is on page 2. So under general fund police department, so I know that we paid Dr. Strada because she's going through negotiations. And I thought it would be under professional services, but it seems like this one is under telephone, under the GO number for the telephone. So I'm just wondering, why would that be? I mean...
that's an error. I'll rectify it.
Okay.
There is a key error.
So it should be under professional development, correct?
Yes, it should be in professional services, 125,726.
That's all the questions I had.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
On that same page, Mohan, under the police department vehicle expense, there's a line item for $97.64 to Heritage. The comment says overpaid. From a clarification purposes, did we overpay, or what's the reason, the logic behind this? Because if we overpaid, I would have expected that to be a negative.
Let me check with them and get back to you tomorrow. Okay?
Any other questions?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not done yet. So, you're asking for us to move exactly $25,000 from the water fund tonight to cover these accounts payables.
Correct.
That tells me that we still have not replenished the money we transferred out of the water fund the last time. Is that correct as well?
Not yet. Yes, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Do we expect to receive another, lump sum of money or so within the next couple of weeks or the end of the year?
I'm anticipating that we may get about 30 to 35,000 in real estate taxes. After having said that, it's not a done deal, but you know the Cook County how it works.
So do you anticipate us
I'm
having
anticipating
to?
approximately about 30 to 35,000 in RE taxes.
Do you think that we'll be borrowing again in a couple of weeks?
Yes. By the end of December 31st.
So you think again in a couple of weeks we'll be borrowing from the water fund to make payroll? Okay.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brewer?
No.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
No.
Trustee Tate? Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Next motion is to adopt the 2018 proposed board and minute committee meetings. I'll entertain a motion. Everyone has a copy of what the committee and the board meetings will look like.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Todd. Any questions?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I just want to point out that for the month of November, the November 6th is election day. So I'm not sure that makes a big deal or
You mean for
anything.
next year?
Correct. So I just wanted to point that out. We have a committee of voting.
Okay. Thank you. That's something we can change prior to that. We can do that. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Tate? Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item C, we're going to take off. There was some discrepancy, so we're going to have and I will inform all of the trustees, we're going to have a special meeting next week prior to our committee meeting to discuss the actual levy. There's some things that I found that I'm looking at, a few discrepancies, so you will get a copy of the change prior to that, hopefully before the end of this week is out. So I'm going to take that off. We're not going to do that one. I will go to item D. Motion to approve the agreement with Alizar Government Solutions to maximize revenue sources for utility fees. That was last week when the guy came out and explained to us at no cost that he would go out there to find that we had money coming from our different utilities. And he would do it in a 60-40 split, 60% going to us, 40% going to them. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Grant, second by trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Abstain.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Tate?
Motion is carried. Okay. This is the motion to approve. We talked about the settlement agreement offers from Jeremy James versus the Village of Sauk Village. And these addendums are on here. $2,900 plus reasonable attorney fees to Felicia James for property damage. $2,500 for reasonable attorney fees to Felicia James for detention. $2,500 plus reasonable attorney fees for Simone Haywood for detention. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Tate? Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the settlement offer for the Johann Harvey, formerly known as Alicia Michael, versus Sauk Village in the amount of $112,500. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion first.
So moved.
It was moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Tate? Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Motion is carried. All right, general comments from the Board of Trustees. We'll start with trustee Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to piggyback off of Clerk Marva. In regards to our holiday cheer, we are still accepting donations, trustees, and the department heads are gone, up until December 15th. So any donations will be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Brewer?
I have a couple of issues. Mr. Mayor, earlier when I talked to you, for the last several months I have been trying to get information, data, financial data relating to MFT funds. And Robinson Engineering gave us a great presentation about what they're going to do with road repairs. But what I'm concerned about is that the information was given freely to a vendor, even though he's been here since forever, you know, and it seems like to me that same information could be given to a trustee. Now, I sent in a FOIA request for bank statements and general ledger from 2006 to the present. In response to my FOIA request, they only gave me information from 2010 to the present. So I sent it back again, and so it's gone to the state's attorney's office. But I'm saying, if the vendor could come in here and get information that the trustees have to vote on the money, why isn't that information available to us? I don't understand what the problem is. Second issue is, back in the 1st of November, we had like $358,000 in the water fund. I think Mohan was here, and I wrote it in my notes. And today he tells me it's only $120,000. I'd like to know what happened to all that money. It just disappeared, or what's going on there. And we must be more diligent about how we, every time we turn around, we have to go into the water fund to make payroll. I understand that it's necessary, but it's something that's not right, where monies are being moved around. Trustees are not knowing what's going on. And to take $25,000 more out of the water fund to make payroll, when we should have had enough already. We have issues with the property taxes. Somebody needs to go and take an in-depth look at what's going on with our finances. And we have a big problem with trustees not knowing what's out there. Everybody else seems to know, but the trustees don't. You can ask Jim Zernick in January, he's going to have a whole in-depth thing about MFT funds. I can't get that information. So I'm going to say, if the vendor could come in here and get information about financial data, trustees should be able to get the same thing. And as far as the water fund comes, we shouldn't have to dip into the water fund every other month just to make payroll. We should get that money from where it's supposed to be, the tax, property tax that we get. But again, we get screwed up on that, so we have to pay some of that back. So this is from previous administration, so we need to look at more in depth and get trustees more involved about how much money is out there and how much money vendors get to use and how much that's out there in the bank for us to use. It's common sense. We are supposed to vote on the money. We need to know what's out there. And that's the end of my comment.
Trustee Jones?
Well, I look forward to seeing everyone on Open Gym. We also have the basketball program that goes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3 to 6. It's been pretty well attended. You should advise your kids, youth, to come in and have their IDs ready. And that's it.
Thank you. Trustee Zupan?
I'd just like to wish those who might be celebrating Hanukkah a happy Hanukkah. That started this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Grant?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Similar to what Bernice stated, I think we just brought 25,000 tonight. I think we're going to have about 100,000 left in the water fund. And Mohan just indicated that we might have to borrow in 2 more weeks again. I just want to know, how are we looking with the line of credit with the bank? Because, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, I'm just a little nervous about that at this point in time. Hopefully we can get that pretty soon, because, I mean, anything can happen and that 100,000 could be going in no time. So I just want to know, like, do we have an update on that yet, or is there progress being made with that? That's all I have.
Thank you. Let me address a couple of things. First of all, I told Mohan today to release to the trustee all the way back to 2006 for the MFT ledgers and the bank statements. So I don't know, when she brought it to me, I told him to take care of that. So it's not like nobody's trying to hide anything, I don't know. But anyway, as far as dipping into the water fund, that's been going since I've been a trustee. But I do.
I'm saying
That's what I had these accountants to come out and give me a true accounting of where our money's at and what we're doing with it. There's going to be some restructuring done here soon, because I like to deal on what I have, not what I'm speculating to get. And those things are going to happen soon, because we should not have to continue to do that. Yes, if we have a problem and the money's not coming in, the state pays money erratically. They may tell you that they're going to pay you the money in September, then get it in October, and in the meantime, you still got to pay your bills, so we have to do that. Hopefully, when we get the money, we can pay it back if nothing else happens. But right now, I'm keeping the bills low. If you notice, there's not very few lawyer bills on there, because I refuse to go to them for things that we didn't have to. But this is a village. We still have to go to our legal team and ask questions and not take things for granted. We have to operate on a professional level to make sure that we're doing the right thing, so we don't get these lawsuits. As you saw today, we voted out to pay these lawsuits. But the thing is, with these lawsuits that we voted out to pay, we've already had to pay $50,000 per lawsuit. That's what the village's obligation. Per lawsuit, we pay $50,000. We have 10 of them. You know how much that's $500,000. They come in 1 year. After that, then the insurance company pays. So we had a lot of lawsuits. We still got a few left. As a matter of fact, we settled one the other month, and the lawyers got more than the clients did. So I mean, that's what happened. So that's why, you know, it's frivolous. That's why we do have a person, it's HR, to keep us out of court, to make sure that we're doing the right thing. So when they come back and say something, that we have everything. We didn't have this before. We didn't have a HR person. This person is on part-time. He only works 12 hours a week. But you're not going to get something for nothing. So, I mean, I'm going to, you know, continue to operate this village in a professional manner. I'm continue to inform, which I have. I haven't held anything back. So I don't know, but I mean, my office is always here. I'm always here. I'm here Monday through Friday, and I may leave to go somewhere for a few minutes, but mostly I'm here from 9 to 5. And I hope those that I won't see next week, that don't come out, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Next week will be the week for it. We will have a special meeting at 6:30 to take care of some items that we need to take care of, and then our committee meeting will start at 7. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. It was moved by Trustee Zupan, second by Trustee Jones. All in favor? Aye. Opposers? Motion is carried. Thank you.